10-0 Kansas taking on 18th ranked Arizona State.
We've got a terrific game. The world is here. The toughest ticket ever in the history of ASU basketball. Whether Arizona State can raise the level of their game and be able to learn to anticipate that pressure. We know that Kansas can play as the guys at the top of the mountain, the place to be.
And the starters for Kansas, Devon Dotson, Quentin Grimes, a freshman who's been up and down. Gerald Vick, outstanding three-point shooter. Lawson and Garrett. And here is Vick. He'll try a three.
Poise, confidence, competitive greatness. Open up with a dagger three and make them play your game. Push these rabid fans here in Wells Fargo Arena back in their seats. There are 3,000 Kansas fans who have bought tickets and come from around the world.
Here's Dort with the pull-up. Off the heel and rebounded by Garrett.
Totally different team for Bobby Hurley this year. Last year it was guard you. Beautiful start.
And it's rebounded by Lawson, the top rebounder in the Big 12. And look at Kansas push the tempo. Another three-point shot. This time Grimes can't get it. Dort trying to drive the baseline. Vick cut it off.
Kansas's defense is just superb.
Finishing through contact for the first points for ASU.
Kamani Lawrence, injured last year with a stress fracture, missed the game back in Lawrence.
Facing 18th ranked Arizona State at a sold-out Wells Fargo Arena, the toughest ticket in town in many years on the ASU campus.
It's the dream. These guys play huge games. The Big 12 is basically the ESPN network. I mean, that's what they're on every single night. Every game they play is sold out. The crowd here is ready. The dream is coming true, though, for these Arizona State Sun Devils under Bobby Hurley in his fourth year. Remarkable player personality and driving leader.
So the first true road game for the Kansas Jayhawks this year as Quentin Grimes drives, can't finish. Jayhawks have had some big wins on the neutral courts.
Send it back.
White with the block, but there is Lawson, who's one of the best rebounders in the country.
You've got to get Cheatham in there to get that loose ball, please.
Here's Cheatham, transfer from San Diego State, driving.
One of the Canadian guys that have come in and dominated so much of college basketball and transitioning that to the NBA as well. Canada, the second largest producer of international players to the professional league, the NBA. France has 9, and from Montreal, Lou Dort, what a force and what a physical specimen. He started playing basketball late. He was a soccer player early. At age 15, he hit the weight room and he's never looked back. On his way to an incredible life and future in the great game of basketball. Kansas's ball movement, their ability to do what they want. They epitomize defining the terms of the conflict. Whoa, Remy.
Way off on the three was Martin Dort.
Roy Williams, Tom Izzo, Jim Boeheim.
Grimes drives the paint. Won the gold medal last June in the under-18 squad. Won the MVP there. But his confidence has waned. They're hoping he gets it back before conference play begins. Kansas does have a week off after this game tonight. Cheatham with a kick out. Edwards drives. Tough shot. And a foul on Grimes.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by NHTSA. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Where his coach in the city of Turin is Larry Brown, the Hall of Famer. Ran into Trey earlier tonight. I was just glowing about the performance he put on last year.
And as you like to say, Bill, it all rolls into one with Larry Brown, Bill Self.
Those guys have all done pretty well. Surprised that R.C. Buford's not already in the Hall of Fame. How old is he now?
Well, Bill Self is in his late 50s, so R.C.'s up there. Pop came the year after Self left to that Kansas staff as well. But Gerald Vick misses inside.
Until they realized how great Dedrick Lawson is. And then Dotson, Devon Dotson, Quentin Grimes. They got a ton of players here.
And here's David McCormick, another McDonald's All-American. The three won't go. Cheatham up high, couldn't get the rebound. McCormick tracks it down, attacks. If he ate something that wasn't in his diet.
Discipline yourself so that others won't have to.
Whoa. Cheatham missed it, rebounded by Dotson.
Dotson, love the way he just pushes this ball. Get to the free throw line and look to pass it. Tempo. Sadly, he cut his hair from last year.
And he gets a steal.
In another 30 years, he won't have to do that anymore. Take the ball, get it to the foul line. Keep going, find one dribble, and then just find your spot-up guy. Championship style. Determine, define keys of the game and the conflict.
And that was your 90-minute conversation with him you normally have with the SID, right?
And so I called him up and I said, man, you guys must be really hurting. You Final Four last year, but you lost all your guys, Steve, Malik Anderson, all these guys. And he said, Bill, don't worry about us at all. We got 3 transfers who are now eligible, 3 new high school All-Americans. We got Bill Self, and we got the Kansas legacy.
Cheatham with a block. Now Tayshaun Cherry on the other end. No good on the 3.
Push the ball. Charlie Moore.
Good defense again by Arizona State. And here's Moore, the Cal transfer, off target. Look at Lightfoot, who went to high school here in Arizona. Gilbert, he couldn't finish that. And the Sun Devils back the other way.
Kansas is quicker, appears much more confident, more skilled, deeper, and more focused and determined.
You wonder how many teams from the Pac-12 are going to get in. There's a lot of pressure to win a game like this because it doesn't just help your team, it helps the entire league.
Pressure is good. Learn to love it. Learn to want it.
McCormick couldn't handle that pass and a turnover. Here's Dort coming off the bench. Getting a little bit of a rest. Out of control right now is Dort.
This guy McCormick looks awesome.
Moore. It's early.
But your best guys have to play well. And right now, Cheatham has not done much. Dort has not done much. Who's going to be able to take over the game? Beautiful.
Maybe it's Tayshaun Cherry.
El Cajon, please. Which is a suburb of San Diego. Played for TJ Leaf's dad, Brad, Foothill Christian in Eastern San Diego.
Now the crowd on its feet.
Nice.
On the drive.
Beautiful play. It was the first time I've seen Dotson, Grimes, Garrett, McCormick, Lightfoot, Lawson. First time I've seen them play. They're fantastic. They're better than last year. And that game last year in the Elite Eight in Omaha when they took down Duke, that was a fantastic game. One of the great games in the history of college basketball. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. These guys have come to play. The Lawsons went to Hamilton. LeGerald went to Douglas. They played all the time. The Lawsons had the better team and more players. That's one of the reasons he's a great player. And all young players need to find the best coach they possibly can.
Bill, you were always known as a great passer for a big. And we talked about Bill Self saying that Dedrick Lawson at 6'9" is the best passer he's ever had. So as Dort gets his first bucket.
You're never going to be a good passer if you come out thinking pass. The pass comes when the defense stops your offensive attack over the top. Oh my gosh, beautiful creativity by the Jayhawks.
Grimes couldn't make it though. Dort.
Great hands. McCormick. What a player. What a prospect.
Charlie Moore.
The Sun Devils are not running back on defense. They are just conceding the offensive fast break to the Jayhawks. That will not get it done. The parting of the Red Sea.
Maybe that'll get him going, Bill. It's his first bucket of the night. He looked like he was rushing a little bit early.
Arizona State is not playing well at all, and they're just down 5. And then once you feed them, you just keep driving and make the other team quit. Make the other team wilt under this relentless pressure that you bring and the fans will support. Great defense there.
Not an over and back violation. It was deflected by Garrett. Here's Dort trying to shake Vic. The 3.
Lou Dort. English is his 3rd language after French and Creole. English is my 5th language. I'm trying to get there.
I don't know what your first is.
If they can just start capitalizing on Lou Dort, if they can just get Z Cheatham going.
Well, you said 2 minutes ago that they were getting blown out of the gym. You changed your tune quickly. Maybe that's your first language.
Look, nothing changes until something moves.
Terry's three.
And right now it's the Sun Devils who are sticking a fork in it. What a crowd here. Rising as one. Great quick ball movement by the Jayhawks.
Lawson.
Beautiful touch. It's not how high you jump, it's where you are and when you jump. He just teased him, got him on the move, froze him, and then just elevated just ever so slightly. A lot like Nikola Jokic. What a
I like
player.
that comparison.
What a passer.
Yeah.
What a mind. That's like Bob Dylan writing a song. That's like Jerry Garcia creating a new lick. Beautiful.
Lawrence way off though.
Texas Tech, a real program now.
Why the shot at Texas Tech? They've had some good years.
Wait a second.
Okay. How about Kansas? 14 straight Big 12 regular season titles.
Set the
Most ever.
record.
Breaking UCLA, which you were obviously a part of, as Lawson finishes inside.
He is a Hall of Fame coach, and you just see the energy that surrounds him wherever he goes. I mean, that's what you're looking for in a leader.
Remy Martin, wow, tough shot there. He thought he was fouled.
LeGerald Vick, wow, that guy can really play, and his ability to get whatever he wants. Rebounds, steals, passes. Yeah, but Kansas is still missing Udoka Azubuike, who is a tremendous player in force and will completely change everything. And then we're still sitting here in limbo on Silvio De Sousa. So this team is far from complete, but still in dominant control here tonight.
Azubuike missing his fourth straight game. They hope to get him back after the new year. Lawson, the shooter on, but he didn't, so they're going to play it safe with him.
Fortunately for the Jayhawks, they've got Andrea Hootie as their strength and conditioning coach. Just one of the greatest at her profession as anyone who has ever held that title.
3-point shooting games to start. They've been kind of up and down, and actually, for whatever reason, was Azubuike was playing, they were shooting it better from the outside, even though he's not a guy that spreads the floor.
That's not true at all. He creates the opening. Because when he's in there, the other team has got to guard him, and that creates the wide open shots on the perimeter.
Dort driving and throws it away. Dotson going one-on-one against Cheatham.
Beautiful.
Gets the bucket. Well, Bill, you're 66. All these guys look young.
Everybody under 65 looks young to me. So, to your point, though, I mean, do you think the guys with Kareem or Wilt or Shaq or Akeem were better shooters because of their presence on the court?
So why in the NBA do we barely see guys like that anymore? All the bigs are guys that can spread the floor and shoot the ball.
It's a different world. It's a different game. It's a different league. It's a different culture. Beautiful. But now it's Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Spin, Earl Monroe, lay it off the glass, 2.
Hall of Famer Bill Walton, Dave Pasch in Tempe. Kansas has opened up a 10-point lead, outscoring Arizona State 22-6 in the paint.
Dotson.
Mary gets it rejected. Remy Martin does by Dotson.
What is the record for the most block shots on the same possession? This is a roof.
Probably
this
not
is
two.
just Dotson. Right there. Well, I remember when Charles Smith for the Knicks blocked his own shot 5 times with the championship on the line.
Dort, deep three.
Just
not
missed.
close.
Come on, Romello.
Sixers, Bucks. Luke Walton and the Lakers taking on the Warriors on ABC and ESPN.
Okay.
LeBron versus KD.
I think LeBron's got something to do with it.
By the way,
What a player. Oh, my gosh. The Lakers are in 3rd or 4th place.
Yeah, they're in
over the top.
By the way, why did you tell Luke last night to ask me what my name was?
What
said,
is your name, anyway?
And
Where have you been?
He said he couldn't do it. He didn't have the heart. At least somebody in the Walton family has a heart.
I'm a proud dad, and I'm a very lucky dad. On Tuesday in Oakland at the Oracle. Let it fly, Remy.
No good. Long rebound, though, for Lawrence, who hangs, can't finish. Neither can White.
Look at the way that he handles the ball, Dedrick Lawson.
Ooh, Dotson slips.
When Derrick Rose was on top of the world, when he was growing up, when Dotson was. Now he's just idolizes Russell Westbrook. 2 very good choices for heroes. Kevin Durant plays. You know, just putting the ball in somebody's face time and time again. Great rotating defense. Rob Edwards, don't jump to pass.
Open look, can't knock it down, batted out, but it's Kansas ball.
Dotson and Dedrick Lawson have been the best players in this game. And the beautiful thing about Kansas is that they're such a team, and they're so committed that none of these guys sit around and hang their heads when somebody else is hot. They're happy for him. They're just leaving Cheatham wide open.
I hesitated there.
Z is a brilliant person. He's the smartest guy on the team, real high basketball IQ. Bobby Hurley telling us that when he went to recruit him, Bobby didn't have to ask a single question. Z just talked the whole time.
And Cheatham with the drive. It rolls off the rim, but it'll go to the line when we come back.
Wow. The desert sky in Arizona, the 6th largest state by area.
As Arizona State does as a team, each with 8 here in the first half.
So as Bobby Hurley has rebuilt this team, they've got a +2 rebounding edge, and Arizona State, they average 10 plus more rebounds per game than their opponents.
Listen to you throwing some stats out there.
That's all I do. Memorize stats. The 2 stats I do look at, rebounds and field goal percentage.
When you say look at, you mean like after the game? Or is it because you don't take the score sheet when it's handed to you?
I'm watching the game, please. I don't need numbers to tell me who's playing well.
Let's see if there's contact.
It's enough. They call that traveling. Okay, that's fine. That's what's called playing on the road. Remy Martin, who has not had the game we've come to expect in these big moments here, he's playing on a very bad ankle. Turned it about 2.5 months ago, just before media day up in San Francisco. Traveling violation again, and that's what's called a mascara call.
Which is?
The makeup.
As a player, 4 games against #1 teams. He was 2-2. One of those against UNLV back
Duke.
Yes.
In Jason Kidd's second and final year in college basketball. Cal Berkeley standing tall. Pac-12 Conference of Champions.
Bill,
it was
what'd you
super
think?
fun. 19 years old. Is from Montreal. His parents are from Haiti. Lou Dort is the 5th of 6 children. 3 boys, 3 girls. And the children range in age from 29 to 17. Growing up there in the beautiful city of Montreal, French-speaking Montreal. His dad was a soccer player, not professionally and recreationally when they're growing up. La France. His mom, Erlene, was a tennis player casually and socially. So he grew up in a sports background. But he was a goalie in soccer. Today he loves video games and Netflix. He was heavily influenced, Lou Dort was, by Roy Rana, the junior national coach up in Canada, who's coached every single Canadian guy coming up.
You don't have to give like the whole bio. Save some of it for Walton's World because we do have that segment coming up.
2 different prep schools in Florida, trying to get used to the American culture, Jacksonville and Miami.
That was a hint.
He should have tried to come to California and see the real United States.
It's a 10-point game. Kansas in front inside 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Kansas is so well schooled and skilled. They know who to back off of.
Dort with a no-look pass. Here's a pull-up jumper.
This is a big-time player. A lot of facial resemblance to Russell Westbrook. Great body, Rob Edwards.
Vic can't get the 3. Long rebound. Dort looking to push pace.
Nice.
And nice job by Vic reaching in but not fouling. It'll stay with the Sun Devils.
Defend without fouling, the core of your defensive strategy. Every single game. This is just like any other game for them. They know they've got to take the crowd out of it. If they play every possession like it matters. Great defense and a rebound.
Bodies hit the floor. Kansas with numbers with Dort still on the ground. Vic.
Look at the change of pace and change of direction.
KJ Lawson wide open, not close.
What a pass. Diedrich has got to anticipate and get in front of that guy, please.
Anticipate a bad shot?
Yes.
You said it was a pass. Here's Cherry for 3. No good.
You can call it whatever you want. I'm sitting here watching. That ball was right to Diedrich.
Lawson with 18 points, 7 rebounds, timeout on the floor.
Bill Self just in complete control here. Hall of Famer, getaway game. It sounds like you're in the NBA.
That's what they called it. That was the wording that they used today, so you can get mad at them.
Really? Well, I guess that's one of the differences between Lawrence and San Diego. Beautiful ball movement.
The extra pass. Grimes can't pay it off. Arizona State's got time. Cheatham had a little trouble with it. 2 seconds to go. Cheatham going to take it all the way to the basket. Lost the ball, and that's the end of the half.
Pass the ball, please.
And welcome back to the beautiful state of Arizona.
Horseshoe Bend, the Colorado River. Let's go. Time to run the river.
And a lot of big names in the house here. Eddie House, all-time leading scorer at Arizona State.
61 points in the game at Cal. Jason Kidd was not in that game. Hall of Famer Jason Kidd, Grant Hill Hall of Famer, Vinny Del Negro Hall of Fame of Life, and then Michael Phelps. Wow, that guy can swim. Most decorated Olympian ever. 23-time gold medalist.
And 28 total medals for Michael Phelps, who has often been behind the curtain of distraction. We'll see what we get from the curtain here with Kansas shooting free throws that way in the second.
I'm not into walls, okay? I'm into bridges.
In the first half, Dedrick Lawson was the story for
I'm into
Kansas.
him. I'm into creativity, I'm into imagination, and I'm into skill.
Well, the fact that Arizona State had only one more basket as a team than Lawson did by himself, the Sun Devils shot 29% from the floor, yet they're only down 8. As the second half is underway here at a packed house, they go to Lawson on the first play, and he scores.
That's coaching. That's leadership. You got a hot hand, we're going to milk him, and we're going to make the other team stop us. He's a freshman, please. They got a lot of guys.
Yeah, but he's their key guy. He's 20 points per game, 6 rebounds.
How did Z Cheatham do in the first half? Okay, so don't just put it on Lou Dort.
No, I just said
he was their best player.
Up, though.
He was their best player, and you're criticizing him, please.
All right, I'm moving on.
Please. Where are you going? You going to Horseshoe Bend, try to find some luck? Please.
9-point game.
Look at the way Dotson pulls the ball back out. Doesn't have his own play. They always keep moving. Nobody's trying to create off their own dribble for themselves. This is just beautiful basketball.
Triple team.
Because he had Christian Leitner on his team, who got them all.
Vic doesn't get the three. By the way, next time we're at an Arizona State shoot-around, why don't you let Coach Hurley actually run the shoot-around? You kept going out there as he's trying to coach, and he would stop because he respects you, and he'd go over and talk to you. Well,
I was trying to find out something.
No, but they're running practice. Well, let him do his job.
I liked Kansas's practice, where they actually shot all day.
Here's a three from Grimes, no good. Rebounded by Cheatham.
And when they did talk about the other team, as brief as it was, he had his key players sit down to watch. Do you like pizza? Did you get any of the pizza that Bobby Hurley gave him?
Lay out, Bill.
Why? I'm not sure you even like your job.
Here's Lawson. I love my job. I get to work with Luke, Walton's dad.
And nothing could be a greater honor than to be recognized as that.
Here's Dort to the rim. He couldn't finish. Offensive rebound by White. Rhythm dribble. Powers it up and in.
Excellent refereeing squad tonight. Kip, Jerry, and what's the third guy's name?
Marquise.
Thanks.
Marquise.
Now, that inbound play, just all the little simple things. Dotson on the move immediately on the handoff by the referee. First forced shot of the night by Kansas.
That was Vic. I don't know if it was their first, but no look pass to White on the drive. He could not finish.
Push the ball. Versatility. Marcus Garrett.
And LeGerald Vic, who went to the NBA, was going to go. It worked out.
Dedrick Lawson has just been unstoppable. I don't believe you've ever been part of a team, have you?
But they could use the shooting, Bill. They only got 4 threes, and most of those came at the start of the game. And Vic misses again. They're not getting second chance opportunity.
They're winning the game, please.
Yeah, but it's down to 6. They're up double figures for most of the first half. Here's Remy Martin trying to shake Dotson.
If you were Bill Self, would you feel threatened?
By Arizona State?
By anything.
It's a 6-point game. You're on the road. A lot of these guys haven't played in this environment before. It's their first true road game. What if the crowd gets going? Dort missed another layup.
Now your leading scorer has to go out, and now it's LeGerald Vic time.
He's just got some blood. That's why he's going out. Have to get that taken care of.
They don't seem overly concerned.
Well, they're not going to run up and meet him at midcourt. I mean, they got to wait till he gets off the floor before
you act like he needs to go to the hospital.
You say he's got blood on his hand. You can't play that way. Another missed free throw, that by DeQuan Lake.
You have blood on your soul. Please. Promoting selfishness.
Oh, stop.
Can't believe we haven't mentioned Jumpin' Joe Caldwell, Lionel Hollins, James Harden, Fat Lever tonight.
Yeah, Harden wasn't on that team.
No, but he played here.
Not that old. Poor Lionel. That was one of your teammates. Three-pointer off the mark by Garrett. Rebound Cheatham. Arizona State down 5, looking to push. Cheatham tried to do it all himself. Almost coughed it up. Now Dort gives up. Cheatham slams.
And tonight, if the Sun Devils could finally make a play like this on consecutive possessions, they'd have a chance. Lou Dort, who's just been the best player so far, creating opportunities for his teammates, which you seem to disdain here.
A chance to tie here.
Whoa.
Short on the three was
Just
Lawrence.
missed. Look how hard this guy runs the floor.
By the way, Arizona State has left some points on the court. They've missed 8 free throws, 11 shots in the lane they've missed.
That created the opportunity for Gerald Vick to come back. Where's the offense going to come from? Lightfoot with the snatching rebound. Oh,
Martin
God.
gets it back to Lake. Lightfoot blocks it out of play. We got another timeout on the floor.
Showing how light of foot he is. Maybe he's related to Gordon. The creativity, the imagination. Great ball fake and feed. Wow, what a block. Send it back.
Arizona State lost a game earlier this week at Vanderbilt.
They will stay there until they lose a game. And then Duke will be right back up there.
Bobby
Duke,
Early had to call
all-time
timeout. They
leader.
couldn't get the ball in bounds. Only
Now,
2 left for Arizona State.
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Have you ever been to this campus before?
Have I
What
ever
a
been?
spectacular place this is. What Michael
live here.
Crow has been able to do here.
Yeah, I live
Mike-
here, so I've been Tampa.
Really? You live here on the campus. Tempe, named after the Valley of Tempe in Greece, which is a historically fantastic, beautiful place, important as can be in the trade routes in the early days. But what Michael Crow and Ray Anderson, Dave Cohen, and Bobby Hurley have been able to do here is just over the top. Michael Crow, the king of innovation, the king of thinking about the future. And one of the things that they're going to do here is they're going to get all these guys who don't finish college, and they're going to encourage them to come back because of the great online presence and get their degree from the new American University here. Plus, who wouldn't want to be in Phoenix? It was 75 degrees here today. What was the temperature in Lawrence?
Colder. Here's Dort on the drive. Hit the side of the backboard. Dort just 2 of 11 from the floor.
Dotson, second best player in the game today. This
Grimes on the take, and he gets the bounce.
And this is a talent level differential, a skill level differential. An emotional and mental differential as well.
It is 36 degrees.
Thank you.
I'm told.
I was concerned.
In the truck.
I'm thinking about
in
going
Lawrence.
there.
It is 55 right now.
Right
here
now,
in
it's
Tempe.
nighttime. You ever been to the desert at night? It's fantastic.
I live here.
So did you see the full moon last night? Oh my gosh.
In local news, Cheatham hits the free throw after Dotson commits his 3rd foul, the 4th team foul in Kansas. Georgia on the road, that was a good victory. And obviously this would be not just the big win.
Did you notice that the conjunction of the full moon and the solstice yesterday? That doesn't happen all the time. Averages only every 19 years.
I'll remember that if I'm ever on Jeopardy.
I won Jeopardy.
A steal as Cherry steps in front of McCormick. Ahead to Edwards.
Grimes, Vick, and Dotson have been superb in everything. And little Charlie Moore is digging that ball out as well.
That was a terrible pass by Cheatham, and he had Romello White posting up.
Look at that pass. That's a great pass and terrific hands by LeGerald Vick.
You know his half-brother is an NHL player,
No.
Tyler Myers. So if Quentin Grimes goes on to play in the NBA, which he probably will, it'll be the first brother combination to play in the NHL and the NBA. As Cheatham scores.
Really? Say this again, please.
Okay, so Quentin Grimes' half-brother, Tyler Myers, who's 6'8", he plays for Winnipeg in the NHL. How about that block by Dort with 2 hands?
Send it back, Lou.
Cherry cleans it up, scoop and score.
What he really needs to do is get his guys to play more of a skilled game than an effort game. Effort is constant. Who can really play, though, when push comes to shove? How long do you keep Dedrick Lawson on the bench? Who would have ever thought? Charlie becoming a huge factor for Bill Self. Great pass. Pass of the night. Desperately to get back into this game. Just roofing. Volleyball block above the net rim.
As Lawson checks back in.
To defend without fouling, that's Akeem Olajuwon. Block the shot, grab the rebound, drive it up. Throw it off to Clyde Drexler, who will finish strong. You old enough to know Clyde Drexler and Akeem?
Of course.
Of course. I thought we had this conversation last night.
I wasn't with you last night.
less time.
5-point game, 12 and a half to go.
Okay, but who's going to be able to make the consistent great play for the Sun Devils when Kansas is dug in?
Moore, too short, and then Arizona State gets it right back.
Carelessness.
Just seemed to be.
But you can never let that interrupt the mental calculations and discipline that you have to be the champion. You think it's easy. You sit here and you look at your stat sheet all the time. Please. It's about making decisions.
Lawson, they tried to flop and get the fourth foul on him, and then Cheatham looked like a good block. Let's see, Bill.
From the wing.
He extended the arm a little bit. That angle wasn't great, though, to really give you. The coaches, they
quit talking bad about my friend Bobby Hurley. He is not a fathead. He's a genius. Look, I'm not into walls. I'm into bridges.
Just don't look
Why not?
to that.
Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares? You don't want to get distracted. That's why it's called the curtain of distraction.
Well, I never would have thought that. Okay, now let's go, Lou Dort. Let's get some creativity here.
He's 2 of 11 from the floor. Misses again. The tip won't go. Dort, another try. Sticks it back.
That guy's got a future.
Look how fast Dotson gets it down the court, but then ASU back.
I love the way that Dotson has played tonight. Pressure constantly, always looking for the next advantage. And this guy grinds. Man, what a player.
Arizona State pushing tempo again. Here's Dort muscling his way in. Couldn't finish.
Remarkable the poise and confidence they're displaying here. Let it fly, Charlie, please. That's what you do. Great pass.
Grimes leaves it.
This is a brilliant team. And you better have a game and you better be in shape if you expect to beat these guys, the Jayhawks. Haven't seen much from Cheatham here. Finally, a layup.
Cheatham has 11 points and 11 rebounds. So I'd say he's had a pretty good night.
They've been behind the entire game.
5-point game, Duke in front. And when we come back, it's another edition of Walton's World. Bill finally putting his hard head to good use, playing soccer with Lou Dort. Freshman French-speaking Lou Dort from Montreal, the subject of tonight's Walton's World.
Wow.
Hey, Lou, I'm Bill.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Luguentz.
What's that? That was impressive. How long have you been doing that?
Merci, j'ai commencé à jouer au soccer quand j'étais jeune, maintenant je joue au basket.
I thought you were a basketball player.
Maintenant je joue au basket, mais j'ai commencé avec le soccer.
Kansas tonight.
Ouais, ça va être un vraiment bon match.
They're really good.
Ouais, c'est la première équipe dans le pays, mais on a hâte de les jouer ce soir.
I understand that you're really good.
Je suis quand même bon, ouais, je vais leur donner un bon match ce soir.
My French is non-existent. I love French.
Ben, je vais t'aider, je suis là pour ça, je vais t'aider, je vais t'apprendre un petit peu de français.
You are quite the player, you are quite the personality. Can I try with the kick?
Vas-y, essaye, c'est pas
Okay.
dur.
I'll just go back and forth with you. Right. But you talk about smart guys, and that is Lou Dort. And the decision he made to move from Montreal to here, Phoenix, yesterday on the solstice, he saved an hour and 14 minutes of his life with extra daylight. Chase that sun, good men through the ages, trying to find the sun. 12 degrees further south on the latitudinal scale.
Did you know that he was trashing you in French until just now when you saw the subtitles?
I can't read.
Okay. He had nothing but nice things to say about you. His parents are from Haiti. They moved to Canada when they were 21 years old.
We had 3 guys that played like Allen Iverson at the same time. An opportunity for the Sun Devils, but Vic is just too good. The Jayhawks transition defense.
Cherry with the steal.
Whoa.
Long floater.
Shot.
Gotta settle down.
Where's Joe Caldwell and Lionel Hollins when you need them? Please.
I need Lionel right now.
They're up and down in transition. They never get tired. Okay. Now, that could be distracting.
Laurie Walton on line 1.
I'm kind of into the walls if Roger Waters is involved. Oh, or maybe that.
Laurie Walton on line 2.
What's the Moose doing there? Hi, Laurie. I love you. I'll be home tomorrow. Turn the jacuzzi on, please.
Get the outdoor showers ready at the Walton household.
Well, never taken an indoor one. at our home there for 39 years. Cleveland State before transferring down here with a chance to play for Bobby Hurley and the New American University. Dotson continues to impress in every aspect. Look at that post up.
Oh, he's so smooth.
Well, this first time I've ever seen him play, and the best I've ever seen him. Ability. I mean, Zylan, that guy is a meteor, a comet searing across the smoking crater. Tough pass there. But look how fast they get back.
Cheatham on the drive, scores and one.
Bobby Hurley says, we're there, guys. Stick a fork in them. The beautiful scenery of the Grand Canyon State. This is Monument Valley, right on the border of the Valley of the Gods. There's only 18% of the land in the entire state of Arizona that is privately held. And there's nothing more valuable than public lands, America's best idea. Newman, right to the basket. Wow, Edwards. And then the transition opportunities. Remy Martin, all have a double on that one. Cheatham has come alive here.
In the first half,
Dedrick Lawson missed a lot of time here in that second half. And so without him in the lineup, everything changes.
Again, Kansas, look at that record on the road when ranked number 1, 33-10. Arizona State has only beaten a number 1 team once, and that was on the road. They never knocked off one here in Tempe.
Dedrick Lawson, what a star. And with all the pro scouts here tonight, Ryan West from the Lakers, John Shoemate from the Suns, Keith Askins, yes, let's give a feature on him from the Miami Heat.
Oh, how about Grant Hill, part owner of the Atlanta Hawks? Here's a step back.
Jimmy Ian, Minnesota.
Lawson, 12 of 15, a great passer in the high post.
Beautiful.
And he finds the open man.
Whatever the record is, and you're saying ever, check with what Wilt did. And one of Wilt's teammates is here tonight.
Yeah, Gary Thompson, who spent 2 years with Wilt.
Jerry Colangelo was there with Wilt. Okay, so Arizona State has somebody playing well. Milk him. This has got to be Remy Martin's job to find some shots for him.
Garrett penetrates, contact, a blocking foul. 3-point lead for the Jayhawks.
Poise, confidence, leadership from the bench. Bill Self has more conference titles than he has home losses in his 16 years.
Martin, no good on the three. Up high is Garrett. Dort. Edwards for the tie, no.
Tore it up for the Jayhawks last year on their run to the Final Four. But the ability to make shots, I mean, the creativity, first of all, by Dotson, who has been superb in every aspect of the game tonight. He epitomizes, Devon Dotson, what it means to be a giant.
And the lead is back to 7 for the Jayhawks on the road.
Kansas is undefeated. That's what counts. When you're on a great team, stats mean nothing.
He'll be back soon.
We hope.
Dort gets the front end of the 1-and-1.
I love the way you predict other people's health.
Well, I'm just telling you what the Kansas coaches said today. It's usually how it works. They give you information, you report it.
I understand that, but talk is cheap, vision true. He's sitting on the bench. And I may be standing on the moon waiting for that next time when they have a solstice and the full moon. It's going to be 2094 the next time. I'll be waiting a long time.
Garrett gets past Dort, hangs, and he was fouled. A late whistle.
Marcus Garrett beat them.
Boy, I thought that was a bad call, just looking at that.
Good.
Nobody's business.
He's trying to build a program here. And what they've got going here at the New American University is the future. And if you're a young player and you're looking around for a place to go to build your life and chase your dreams, like, what better place? You seen what they've done around here lately?
Look at Bobby's got the shirt out. I think it's Arizona State University.
Take his shirt off.
Now, actually, Bill Self said to you today, don't do that again, because you did it at the Kansas game in Austin 2 years ago, and Bill said, just please don't do it
Look, I'm a San Diego Beach boy. We get dressed in the parking lot.
Yeah, but we're indoors, and this is Arizona, and it's a basketball game, and you're working. You're a professional.
I take my shirt off every day.
Arizona State trying to pull the upset, which would be big for the program and for the Pac-12. Kansas 10-0, trying to get to 11-0 for the first time since 2011 when they started 18-0.
Beautiful pass, Dotson.
Vic Deep one, no.
Dotson.
Charlie Moore, nice play, kept it alive. And then Remy Martin.
Wow. The fight, the scrum for the ball. Play on. College basketball at its finest.
That's a foul.
Beauty, majesty, the Magian Rim, and everybody having a great time outdoors. Kansas, though, leading. Great players in this history for Arizona State, but they've got to come up with a victory here tonight to keep these fans coming back.
Here's Dort. He's 3 of 14 from the field, Dort, but he's done a lot of good in other areas. 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Just a freshman, 19 years old.
Look at the body on this guy. When I first met him this morning, I asked him if he was 30 years old. The shoulders and the biceps and the thickness of his chest. He's just 19. When we speak of history, let's never forget that Kansas has the history. The most Hall of Famers of any school ever. They have 20 of them, including the guy that started the game of basketball 127 years ago. Yesterday was the birthday of basketball from 1891.
And it was 10 years ago Kansas won its last national championship. And Bill Self wasn't happy initially with Kansas and how they started that offensive possession. They're trying to get it to Lawson on the low block. He's well covered by Romello White. Now Lawson facing up. Baseline cut off. 3 ball. Way off by Grimes. And it looked like there was some contact on the perimeter as well by Arizona State, but no call.
Please, don't over-officiate it. Let them play. There's not any dirty players out there.
Does he get his wrist, though? That's a foul. You hit the wrist. It's a foul.
It's a basketball game at the championship level. This game is being played at an extremely high level.
They're going to let Lawson make the play, and he's called for combing. He turns it over.
But who's going to create offensively for the Sun Devils?
Edwards pulls up.
This is Pac-12 championship basketball. This is college basketball.
Vic for 3, not close. Oh, 2 Sun Devils collide.
Come back to Edwards, the guy's on fire.
He's got 3 3-pointers, 13 points for the game.
So why are they killing clock here?
Edwards had just 2 points in the first half. Shot clock down to 7. Here's Dort.
Nice.
Driving the lane, muscles it up.
Without fouling. What a crossover. As great and as important a skill in basketball as you can ever have. Change of pace, change of direction. And you look at these Hall of Famers. That was Jason Kidd. That was Grant Hill. That was Joe Caldwell. That was Steve Nash.
That's a big missed free throw. Free throws tonight. That was his first miss. And he misses both.
This has to be the biggest game Lou Dort has ever played in his life.
No doubt. Kansas with 1 timeout left. Again, Lawson being blanketed by White on the low block. They get it to Lawson. He catches.
But when you're a champion-level player, you don't see anything beyond the perimeter of the court. That's in your face. Where was that Kentucky-North Carolina game? Where was that?
It was in Chapel Hill today. Look at the remaining
North Carolina lost
teams.
at home. Michigan, John Beilein. That guy's fantastic. Nevada's a real squad. St. John's, Chris Mullen. Yeah, we love that. Who's on Houston? That's not still Akeem and Clyde, is it? No. Tony Bennett at Virginia. What a coach. What a leader. What a class act.
Bill, this is the 3rd largest crowd in Wells Fargo Arena history. Just under 14,600.
What were the other 2?
Arizona State ball. Let's not worry about that. Let's talk about what Arizona State's going to do here on this possession. Offensive foul, Kansas.
Kansas is excellent at executing that weave. But that dribble handoff, right call. Remy Martin just trying to play some defense, but Gerald Vick just ran him over.
Shot clock at 15. Each team with a timeout. Now the timer down at 10.
Why doesn't Remy Martin have the ball?
Dort off the screen. Shot clock at 6. Dort driving, and he's called for traveling.
You will rarely see this call made. Okay, now it is traveling.
Did he get his arm? Did Lawson actually get the arm of Dort?
When he lands, his right foot is his pivot foot, and then he picks it back up. Technically, it's the right call. But as a defensive player, you beg for the referee to make that call, and you rarely get it. Can't get any satisfaction.
You're on the road. You're out of timeouts now.
You go for a 3 and hit it. And win it. Race out and don't even look back.
And Okay, well, do you get it in Dedrick Lawson's hands again in the high post and allow him to make the decision on what to do?
I want overtime. I want more. This has been fantastic.
All right, but what does Bill Self want?
Bill Self wants to win the game.
Right, so
it's much easier to win it at the buzzer than in overtime.
So you play Lawson in the high post. For now, here comes Dotson. 13 seconds left. Dotson gives it up. Vic from the corner. Back to Dotson, through his hands into the backcourt. Over and back violation. It's Arizona State ball.
And that's a break for Kansas there. Because Edwards, he had an opportunity there to keep going and seal it, close the door. The pass goes right through Dotson's hands. It's a hard pass, but Dotson is good enough to catch that.
Actually, I don't know that touched Dotson, and then it went out of bounds off of Edwards.
It clearly did.
It was touched first, it appeared by Edwards, and then he kicks it out of bounds. Watch here. Did he touch it?
It looked like they both touched it.
Okay.
They both touched it. I'd call that a backcourt violation.
And that was the call. 6.9 left. They got to get it in bounds, and the foul comes. Arizona State did have a timeout, so Rob Edwards, 4-point lead.
Let him score. Make him take time off the clock. History in the making.
It's over. Number one goes down in Tempe.
And when Kansas lost Dedrick Lawson, their momentum, their control evaporated like water sitting in a puddle on a desert highway.